Welcome back. We are still in my testimony with Mr. Yego here. He's going to tell us more about his high school life. When you completed your high school life,
Yes.
did you continue going to the church that sponsored you?
Unfortunately, no, I didn't.
So you went to another church?
Yeah, I went to another church. I did not actually continue fellowshipping in the IC church that facilitated my high school education. I went to another church.
So tell us more about this other church.
Wow, in this other church, it was a nice church, and it happened that I was one of the instrumentalists there.
So in the previous church, you were playing guitar. So you
Exactly.
still continued with your talent.
Yeah, I continued with the talent, but now in this church there was no guitar, but there was the keyboard. I was playing the keyboard.
All right.
Exactly.
So tell us more about it, about the people you met there.
It was nice, and as time went by, and during this time while I'm still fellowshipping in this church, my mother used to ill-treat me as well. And after high school, so I could go home. My mother tells me, there's no lunch. You go and take your lunch in the church you've come from. And in this very, very church, in the praise and worship team where I belong to, there was another lady who actually lived close by. She had rented a house not far away from our home, our native home. And she was observing everything that was happening, how my mother mistreated me, denying me food, talking so harshly. And she took advantage of the state of affairs in our family at that particular time. And so she now began to make advances on me, to take advantage of that.
So you want to say that she approached you?
Yeah, she did.
At that particular time, you met her in the church.
Yeah,
Was she performing any role?
she was in the praise and worship.
And
She
you're
was
the
a
guitar,
singer.
and you're the keyboardist.
And I'm playing the keyboard. Exactly. So she made advances, having seen all the mess, the frustrations that I was going through in the hands of my mother. And she told me that she promised me two things. She told me that she was going to offer me the love of a woman and also the love of a mother. Those two things, the truth is that I needed it most desperately. And I'm sorry to say that I gave in so quickly.
At that time, how old were you?
I was 20 years.
You were 20. And the
Yeah.
woman was?
She was twice my age. She was
40.
40 years.
40 years.
Exactly.
So what happened when you gave in? Did you shift to her house or what happened?
Yeah, after some time, it did not take long. I saw. By the way, let me tell you something. She was very rich. She was a rich woman. She had all the money. She also had beauty. She was beautiful, and she had all the money. I tell you, the problem with her
Was how to use.
how to use the money. Exactly. So she tells me, come over. You become the boss. And for a struggling poor boy with hot blood running through my veins, then I gave in so quickly. And immediately, to avoid the
Hula balloons.
absolutely the hula balloons of the village, we relocated very quickly to the bright lights in the city of Eldoret.
Wow.
Yeah.
The richest estate.
Now we went to a very prestigious estate called Kapsoya. It was the most prestigious estate in the city. She rented a house. She had sponsorship from the US. She said that somebody, I don't know who that person is, used to send money via the
Western Union.
Western Union. So it was sent in dollars, and we get the money in shillings. So we relocated very quickly to the city, and I remember the first time Tuskys was really booming during those days. The Tuskys supermarket. She took me to Tuskys supermarket, and she bought me very fine Italian suit. You know, I had never dressed that way before. I dressed like the mayor of the city. You see, had you met me, you could have mistaken me for a governor. And she introduced me into life of affluence.
Luxury.
I'm telling you, life of luxury, whereby everything was provided. I'm telling you the truth. I've tasted the life of that top life over there, where you can go to this 5-star hotel, and everything is provided for. Whatever you want was really provided. I dress so nicely. Leave alone this kind of suit. There's no suit here.
The Italian ones.
Absolutely. With the kind of shoe, the matching shoe, the tie and the belt and the shirt. It was a great life. So we lived with this woman for like 6 good months.
6 months.
Yeah, 6 months. It was on the 7th month that hell broke loose.
So before you continue with the 7th month,
Exactly.
so you've shifted with the woman.
Yeah.
Did your parents or your sibling knew where you were?
They didn't know. They didn't know where we were. Nobody knew in the village. Nobody actually knew our whereabouts. So we actually went to the city of Eldoret. And for that, for the entire period of time, like I've told you, 6 months, they didn't know. They did not make a call. Probably, of course, during those days, the issue of phones and all that.
Yeah, there was.
But I don't know if they made a search, if they ever went to the police station. But they, of course, they noticed about they had seen me moving up and down with this woman, and said, of course, they saw the disappearance of this woman and I. So I've left to imagine that they just filled the blank spaces that we've moved to another place. But they did not search for us. They did not find us. Or if at all, they did search for us. Sure.
So tell us more about after the 6th month. What really happened?
We had lived so well, like a wife and a husband. And I came to be told later that she had children of my age.
How many?
She had 4 children, but she was living with 2, one boy and a girl of 6 and 7 years. 6 years? No, 5 years and 7 years. So the rest 2, the elder ones, they were not there. Okay, she had been married to an Arab, and they divorced. And so probably maybe the other children were left with the father. So I was left with, rather, she was left with these other 2 young children. Exactly.
So after the 6th month,
Yeah.
did you miss home when you were there?
Now on the 6th month, towards the end of the 6th month, she said that her financier, she alleged that she lived in Minnesota, in the United States, said that she had decided to discontinue sending money, and that's where problems began.
So there was no money.
There was no flow of money.
So the luxury life.
Yes, and during this time when there was money around, you see, I was so young, I could not imagine of investing on what she had. Neither did she also think of the same. So there was no business we were doing. And so in the 6th month, the sponsor say, according to her, she says that he has discontinued sending the money. I don't know who that person was. So life began to go down now, because there's no provision. Now she begins to sell the household goods one by one. Yeah, one by one, selling even clothings.
Even your Italian suits.
Yeah, we had to sell them. Actually, we had to sell them to facilitate for the rent and food. You see, it can be so ridiculous to be seen wearing a suit like this one, but there's no food in the house.
Yeah.
So as time went by, we sold things and life became so tough.
So did you vacate to the previous luxurious house?
Now we had now to shift to some low-cost houses in some places in the neck of the woods in Ensnared town. Some places we went to Chepkanga. We went to some places called Kidiwa. There's some other place called Jerusalem. There's also those places, the people who live in Ensnared, they know that. And we also went to some place in Myline. Now, in the house in Myline is when life became so difficult. It became so tougher that it had been back at home.
So you wished the life that you are living at home.
And let me tell you, at that point in time, like the biblical prodigal son, I came back to my senses. Yes. I remembered and I said, though there was trouble back at home there, but it was far much better there than here, because we've sold everything and now life is becoming so difficult here and I could not see a future then. So I come back to my senses and one day I approached this woman and I told her, I really want to go. I want us to end this relationship so that I go back home.
Yeah, because of the difficult life.
Yeah, because of the life that was so hard. When she heard about that, let me tell you, I don't know what happened. I just found myself, she took hold of me like this and lifted me that way. This is a woman 40 years and a boy 20 years. So you could see my legs dangling over there because she has held me. She was strong. And what I saw in her eyes, now I realized that I was with a terrible person because her eyes changed.
To what?
I saw something like fire. Fire emanating from her eyes. Now, and she told me, if you really love your life, never mention of such a thing again. And since I really loved my life, I never wanted to mention anything like that to her again. Now, and she told me that if I do so, she was going to call some people who will escort me to go and see my maker. Exactly. So I realized that my life was in great danger.
So, so from there you didn't have the plan of going back home.
No. Now I began to execute this, but privately. I did not let her know. Now 3 days from that time, from that day, I executed the plan. She had gone to town, and I packed my few belongings that had remained after the sale, put it in a small bag, and went home.
So you went back home?
I went back home.
So tell us more about when your mother saw you, your siblings, after 7 months.
Yes.
How did they react?
I tell you, it was such a very emotional moment for my two sisters, Maureen and Naomi, who was so far preceded from us from this life. Naomi, who died in the year 2011.
Sorry.
And they really wailed. I don't know if that's the right word. Walilia sana to see me. And you see, having seen me after a long time.
Tell us about your mom.
While they were doing that, crying, my mother was right there, wearing a very emotionless smile, looking at me, like somebody who wants to cause war. And when I looked at her, I realized that she hadn't changed that much. So I did not stay at home. After that,
where did you go?
I went to I went to the home of a church elder that I used to fellowship, and I gave her the whole story. I told her I'm back. I went with the other woman. We lived. Now I've come back, but my mother does not want to accept me, and she offered to accommodate me. In the compound was the house of his son, who was then a student at Chafakali High School, and he hosted me over there for 7 days.
7 days.
Now, yes.
What happened after these 7 days?
On the 7th day, one morning I was having I was enjoying the climax of the sun in the morning, and looking at the gate, I saw somebody standing there. I was the only one outside the house, and I saw somebody standing at the gate, and she was beckoning at me. When I looked very closely, I noticed it was that woman.
So the woman followed you?
Yeah, she followed me. And so I went there. I went and met her. You know, now with her beautiful looks, let me tell you, I do not exactly, up to this point in time, today when we are sitting in this, when I'm giving this testimony, I don't know what transpired from there. Because I found myself in a house she had rented in a place called Navilas in Soy. I don't know what happened.
So you left without even saying goodbye to the elder?
I did not say goodbye to anybody.
Did you carry anything?
I did not carry anything. I just went like that. I found myself in the house she had rented.
So you started another life with her?
I started another life again.
For how long did you stay together?
It did not go long. One thing I did not know is that she had come back with one agenda, to punish me
because
for having ran
you
away,
ran away.
without asking for permission. So she was looking out for me to pay for the price. She had told me last time, if I really love my life, I should never speak about the same. So we stay in the house she had rented, and I looked around and I realized it's like for her, life had improved again, because she had good things in the house.
After selling the
previous ones. Now there was new things in the house, and it's like life was okay. So you know, I tried to imagine about my mother, and I looked at the way things were at home, and I realized, let me stay with this woman again. Not realizing that she really had a plan. And not long after that, we did not stay for a long time. It was, I guess it's less than a week. One evening, while we were having my favorite Saba dinner of omena and ugali, I saw 4 men. They kicked the house and entered into the house. They had AK-47, and they told me to surrender immediately. You see, for me, I thought, you see, they were wearing civilian, but they had guns. They said surrender immediately. I told them, what's the problem? So I thought we were being raided by thugs. It was actually the police.
The woman was there?
The woman was there.
She didn't speak anything?
She did not speak anything. I told her...
what is happening?
No. In fact, she was just okay. Like nothing had happened. She was just seeing... You know, I was trying to look at her. She's just composed. But these guys, they've come, they handcuff me, and they tell me, we are taking you to the police station. We're the police.
So you didn't know even the mistake that you've done?
Yeah, I didn't know. So I was wondering, I told them, you are the police? Yes, they say we are the police. Let's go. So they picked me and we went to a police station. And I stayed there for 7 days. There was no interrogation. Nobody's telling me what happened. Now, during that time, my father happened to visited me there. It's like he was told about the story, what had happened. So he came to the station, which was adjacent. It's also a police station. Yeah, so he came there. And later when I was released from prison.
After how long?
Now, I'm saying later on when I was released from prison, after 3 months.
So you stayed in the prison for 3 months?
Yes. The father came and told me that he's the one who told
the woman,
the police, that I should proceed further and be taken to prison. That they wanted to release me at the police station, but he told them that I should proceed further to the prison to have to learn lessons there. Yeah. Now, while I was in the prison, the woman came
to see you.
To see me. And she told me that she was very sorry for what happened. Because the allegations that they put down against me was wrong. Now, I told her to go and speak. Now, it will not make much sense. Go and speak this to the courts and have to clear my name so that I can be out of prison. She said that she was afraid to go and do that because in so doing, she would be put in. And so she left. I never saw her again. Yes.
So after the 3 months, you were let to go?
Yeah, after 3 months, I was released from prison.
So I know there are so many people who are watching you, and probably they have never been in prison. So tell us more. How was your life in prison there?
Life in prison is a very tough life. It's a place that personally I wouldn't wished. I can't wish any of my enemies to ever be there. It's a painful life. Most people, I've heard people say it's a correction facility, the prison. But let me tell you, according to my observation of what I saw and what I experienced, it's a correction facility. Because it's in prison that I actually saw firsthand the practice of homosexuality. I saw it there, and I saw the jailbirds, those who have been jailed for a long time, real criminals. They teach, they train others who are interested in crime on how to use guns, on what to do to people when you murder them. You see, it's a place of evil, and it's a terrible place. The kind of food that was served there, you see, you can starve to death. You're being given the kind of food that is meant to sustain you, not to die. But it is such, unapigwa na njaa until you have no energy, especially those who are remanded. There's a section of the prison that's called the remand. Those who are still awaiting their cases to be finalized, they are put there, and that is where the life is so tough. Now, on the main prison, there is better food, and those who have had their cases finalized, and those guys, they sneak food to those who are in the prison remand, and so they take advantage of the anger, njaa, wenye wako na njaa, and they bring better food, and they lure them into having practicing homosexuality with them. And unaona, because of the njaa, some people give in for that.
So they took advantage.
And it's done openly. I think the prison is a home to the devil. Exactly.
So I know there are so many people who are watching you right now,
Sure.
and probably there are so many youths watching you. What would you like to tell them about life with a sugar mommy? Maybe they are tempted to get easy things. What would you like to tell them after you've lived with the woman?
First of all, uh, you see, I want to let the young people know that the devil is real, and he doesn't come to us post as the devil, but he will use so many avenues like that of sugar mommy or sugar daddy. People who have money, the money that we so desperately look for, all of us. you know they come and they seem to offer the best of life there is, but the truth is that there's a price to pay. I blindly followed this woman simply because of the problems that had overwhelmed me from all direction, thinking that I had arrived to the very other side of heaven. And because of everything that she provided for me, it was short-lived. The thing I want the listener to know that that which the devil offers is for a very short while, and his mission is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So he comes with all manner of enticement, and I would love to tell the young people, it is better to suffer. It is better to, the difficulties that you're facing, the lack of finances, you are struggling, and you are in God. Rather than everything is provided with the devil, it's short-lived. It won't last. You see, I saw that kind of life, the highest kind of life, but it ended me in a terrible place. I thank God that I landed in prison, because it's like I was safe there. How about if she had decided to kill me? I would have died, and I wouldn't be here even to give this story. You see, people have, or rather the devil through the people, men and women, will come, and they will want to entice us so much into running for what he offers. But I would like to tell somebody, it's better to trust in God and to be satisfied with what you have. Exactly.
So tell us about parents who discriminate their children. When you're back home, your mother did beat you so much, and you're even for the mistakes of other kids. I wanted to talk to parents who really discriminate at their kids.
Yes. Let me tell you that nothing pains a child. Nothing pains a child to know that you are the hated in the family. Because I live to know that I'm one who is hated here. And true, my mother really hated me. And that kind of feeling will make a child to have very low self-esteem. When you're with the people, you feel like you are nothing. You make somebody to, the child feels like he or she is totally rejected. And you see, children grow having great trust on their parents, and we are the only ones who are supposed to show them the first love. You see, the children will struggle so much to comprehend about the love of God in their lives when we as parents are not able to demonstrate the love that we are supposed to demonstrate to them. And it is important for any parent to understand and to know this, that if you will not be able to give love to your children, the devil will come. The devil will come with his schemes, and he has all the tactics at hand. He will lure away your children, and he will try to deceitfully show them love, which is no love after all. and ultimately he will achieve his mission to steal, to kill, and to destroy. You know, the destinies of your children will just go like that, will be destroyed, and you know, destinies delayed simply because we are not able as parents to give to our children that which we are supposed to give them. You don't necessarily have to give money. You know, this love, you see, if you don't love your children, who else do you expect to love them? It is such a painful experience for children, especially to get to know this one fact, that their parents don't love them. It is so painful.
Thank you so much for watching VBN TV. That was my testimony with me, Nelly Princess. There are so many stories that will come over, so make sure you are tuned in.